Hey guys, whoa. Why don't we turn that down just a little bit? A couple of things before we get going today. Today is a normal Sunday team activity day for a Friday home game. So the normal things are going on today. Monday practice tomorrow morning. Normally the first 30 minutes are open to the media. That will happen tomorrow. No interviews, but photos and video tomorrow at practice. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. will be our normal Monday press conference. So that'll be in the Josephine. Obviously, it's a Friday game. We're practicing tomorrow morning, so it moves to 2 o'clock. Players will be available at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Normal coaches at practice during the week, okay? Where's Matt? Matt will send out a practice schedule as normal, like he normally does this week, so you'll have practice schedule. 7:30 is game time, salute to service on Friday. For today, we'll have Q&A after opening remarks from President Castro and Director of Athletics Jim Bartko. There'll be no one-on-ones after today's Q&A. So if everybody's ready to go, Paul, good to go? Okay. All right, Director of Athletics Jim Bartko.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming. Not an easy day. Football fever runs deep in the valley. David Carr, Derek Carr, Trent Dilfer, many others. Jim Sweeney, Pat Hill. It's transformed the history of this program, and we expect great things out of it. Today's conversation was not easy. We have informed Coach DeRuiter that he will no longer be our head football coach. Tim and his family have been great ambassadors for this university and our football program. Coach DeRuiter is a true man of character and a leader of great student athletes, and he was great today. Over my tenure, the president and I both felt that on the field it has not lived up to the standard that the Valley needs. We have had success that is expected and anticipated by many, including myself and the president, and many in this room and watching on TV. Monday we'll start the process for national search. It'll be filled when filled, and I will not talk about that search after today. Eric Keesaw has accepted the interim head coaching job, and he'll begin his duties today. This football season is not over. I met with the team a little while ago. They are in good spirits. They're great students. They care about the Fresno State on their jersey, and they'll continue that process. Our goal is to win the next 4 games. We'll get the fever pitch back to Fresno and the Valley and on the football field. I want to express again, the DeRuiter family are great people, great leaders, have been great football coaches, and have high integrity. It's not an easy day. It's not been an easy week. I'd now like to give over to the president before we take questions. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon. Coach DeRuiter and his family have been passionate ambassadors for our university and our community, and I am deeply grateful for their many valuable contributions. The DeRuiter family deserves our respect and compassion. I have deeply appreciated Coach DeRuiter's focus on developing the leadership abilities of our student athletes while winning our first Mountain West Conference championship. However, as Athletic Director Bartko just said, after evaluating the current state of the program, we believe a change must be made. We will honor the terms of our agreement with Coach DeRuiter. The path to greater heights of success in athletics and in life is neither smooth nor straight. Our commitment to academics and athletics boldly rising together is unwavering. Student success inside and outside the classroom remains our highest priority here at Fresno State. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll be happy to take questions with Jim.
No questions?
Andrew Martin, KC24, CBS 47. When was the decision made to relieve Coach DeRuiter of his duties?
Is that to me?
For either one.
I think our first time we talked about was Monday, last Monday. We had some consultation during the week, but I think the process started on Monday.
What specifically was a factor going into it for it to happen right now?
You know, that's hard to say. A lot of things go into it. You know, the last 2 seasons aren't what our fans and our university expects, but that doesn't diminish Tim and his coaching ability. But we just felt it was the right time for us to begin the process of a search, also begin the process for letting the coaches and the players, you know, have some direction, and also to relieve Tim and let him know what's going on also, so he has some opportunities. Do you want to add anything to that? Or? Perfect. Yeah, yes.
Jim, I know you said that you're not going to talk about candidates, you know, for the rest of the year after today, so I guess I'll ask you right now. We've heard Jeff Tedford's name floated around with this job. I know you have a relationship going back with him. Have you even in a casual way discussed maybe that with him, and has he expressed interest at all?
No discussion. We'll have a search process. Once that's done, we're going to find the best candidate for the job, but there's been no discussions.
When it comes to that new head coach, based on kind of your time here and what you've seen out of Coach DeRuiter with both what worked and then what maybe didn't, what's going to be the most important thing to you when it comes to, you know, the new head coach and what he brings to the table? Well,
Integrity is first and foremost. Someone that cares about academics and athletics is first and foremost. Following rules and is of utmost. Someone that has an idea of how special this valley is. Not saying it has to be a Fresno State grad, but someone that knows this area and this community and the state of California, I think will be a big place. But we're going to hire the best candidate we can find and not limit ourselves to one thing or one other.
As far as honoring that commitment, where does that money come from?
Do you want to talk about that one?
We'll be able to share more in the coming days as we have those discussions with Coach DeRuiter, but we will honor the terms of the agreement. So that's about all I can say at this point. We'll be meeting with his representatives in the coming days to figure out exactly how those things will unfold. But I think you all have seen the agreement, and if you haven't, we'll be happy to share copies of that with you.
You know, Eric Keesa obviously new to the program as well as
Yeah.
most of the assistants are. What was it about him that you wanted him to take over?
You know what? We have great coaching staff, and could have been one of many people. I just felt Eric and his personality and his style would fit the best. You know, we have 105 teenagers on that team, and I think Eric will do a great job of, you know, making sure they know what's important in the next few weeks. He's been in Alabama, he's been at Cal, he's been at, you know, Washington, so he's seen different coaches and has a good idea. And I thought his style was what our kids need the most. Most things we're worried about is winning football games, making sure our players are taken care of. Yes.
Do you think it's important to hire someone the fans will know, a name guy, the recruits will know?
Like I said before on the last question, I think we're going to hire the best coach we can find, and we're not going to limit ourselves to that. Our fans, and you know, I think this is important for all of our fans too. Our fans need to understand that they need to support the program, they need to come out of the stadium, and they'll support whoever we hire. We're going to hire the best fit for what Fresno State is, for the IDs and goals, or what Dr. Castro, our cabinet, and everybody else thinks. So I'm not going to limit it to a Fresno State grad or anything else. I want the best fit. So obviously, if someone's from the Valley needs the best candidate, that sure helps, but doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to limit ourselves to that.
Can you describe your relationship with Jeff Tedford? And I understand he may have been in town last weekend. I wonder if you met with him.
No, I did not meet with him. Haven't seen Jeff for quite a while. Obviously, I was with him at Cal, and but he does have 2 kids here in town, and I think they had a bye week, so no. And there has been no discussions with any candidates. You hear a lot of rumors out there. Not.
What's the timeline for this process as far as the minimum, and what would be ideal?
I believe it's a 10-day minimum, and we'll fill when 14-day minimum, and then we'll fill it when it's filled. That could be whatever it is, but it's minimum 14 days, and then we'll wait and hire the best candidate possible. So there really isn't a timeline. Yes.
All right, so why now? Just kind of looking at the largest, the margins of defeat in the last couple of weeks, they've been a little bit closer. Like, why not now, or why now rather than after the Tulsa game, than after?
Oh, I think after the Tulsa game, I think my thought there was we're going to win the next 2 games and play San Diego State for the lead league. We beat Nevada and UNLV, or 2-0, playing San Diego State for the, our divisional lead. So there wasn't ever even a thought that we think we're going to win every game. And Coach Reuter thought they were going to win every game. But as the season went on, and I think the stress level on the coaches and everything else, what we're going to do, it was better to make a decision now and give us a jump start in the process. Honor, make sure we do it with dignity with the coach. Make sure we do it with dignity with his family, because he deserves it. He's a great person, and he's a good friend.
Jim, how much does the lack of attendance maybe this year and the past couple of years have, and the plans that you guys have for the stadium expansion go in a decision like this?
The stadium never did. We've had great support for the stadium. Obviously, you look at the fan support, that doesn't make us make a decision, but we need to fill that stadium, win or lose. Nebraska was 5-7 last year, and they sold out every game.
What is your message to the Red Wave?
Trust us, support our program, win or lose. We'll do what we know is right for this university. You deserve a winner. We want to have a winner. We had a winner in Coach Reuter. Now it's just time for a change to move in a different direction.
Jim, how did this decision, or how does it affect the future plans for Bulldog Stadium, or even just your 5-point plan?
Zero. It has no impact whatsoever. Still, architects have been hired. They met Friday up in Utah State to be in the process, and we have some work to do yet on designs and development, but right now that process has not changed, and our donations from our donors are still going strong.
What did Coach DeRuiter say when you told him the news?
Oh, I think that I'll keep that a little private, but there's no doubt it shows how his class is, the kind of person he is. It's not easy. It wasn't easy for any of us. He deserved it, and he did a great job.
Through just kind of being out in the community and talking to people and this and that, there's been some thought that the current coaching staff maybe didn't have the presence in the Valley when it came to recruiting and this and that maybe some previous regimes have had. Have you heard that? And if so, is that something that kind of will be a point of emphasis with the new hire?
Well, it's not, I've heard a lot of things over the last year and a half. When Twitter accounts make your life a lot smaller than sometimes you want it to be. But the Valley has always been special to us. We've had a lot of great winners here. When I say the Valley, it's not just Fresno. It's down to Bakersfield. We've had some pretty good quarterbacks come out of that area, and we've had some good players out of some of the smallest towns. So yes, that's got to be a focus. And to say what we've done the past couple of years, coaches do a good job evaluating, and some of those kids might not have wanted to come to Fresno, but it will be a focus on what we do.
Will you lean on the Carr brothers and when it comes to this at all?
I would be remiss not to talk to some of our great players about advice, input, suggestions. What made Fresno great when you were here? No one person will dictate who we hire, but getting input from some of the great players that played here who have a vested interest in wearing that uniform, I'd be remiss, I think Dr. Castro and the search committee would be remiss not to at least get input, yes.
And were there any preseason conversations with Coach Reuter, maybe just about expectations heading into this year, maybe something that he had to meet in a certain way?
No, not really. We took that tour. We both felt that we could be for the conference championship. I think every coach goes into the season not saying we're going to go 1-7. And so, yes, there was never you got to win, you got to go to a bowl game, or we don't, because a lot of factors go into that, injuries, and but we just felt it was time to, and waiting another week or 2 weeks doesn't do anybody any good.
Kind of seems to me that maybe Coach Reuter could be one guy who, maybe even hearing this news, might be willing to coach out the rest of the season just because he is a man of high character and for the kids in this thing. Any thought to that, to even kind of give him the news that we're going in a different direction, letting him coach out?
No. Well, again, it's 14 days to be open, then you have to do interviews. And there'll be several candidates that'll be interviewed. So, you're not going to get yourself down to a timeline. It's minimum 14 days to be open. Then after that, you have the process. So, and we're not going to pin ourselves to a day of a bye week or, you know. A consultant, not an active coach on the field. Eric will need to fill. There's one open spot, probably with the GA right now, because there is one less coach now. And he'll make that decision probably within tomorrow, probably the press conference, so I have that ready to go. Eric found out this morning. So he's gathering what he needs to get together and meet with the team and meet with the coaches and their game plan. So it doesn't change. And when I told the team in the offices, our goal is to win the next 4 games. Our goal is not to just say, hey, the year's over. We're gonna go to class, we're gonna do the right things, and we're gonna go out and compete, make this community proud, and try to win 4 games.
Jim, specifically,
Yes.
when were the players notified, and what was their maybe immediate reaction?
Tim met with him first, about 11 o'clock this morning. I met with Tim at 10. And then I probably met with the players about 11:15. Give or take. It's been a long morning, so it could be 11:10, 11:12. I mean, I don't know.
This is for Dr. Castro.
Oh, great.
Sure. Dr. Castro, when you look back now at the negotiations and re-upping Coach DeRuyter's contract a couple years ago, do you think maybe you jumped the gun, or maybe would like to have maybe put a buyout clause?
Well, every day I try to make decisions that are in the best interest of the university. And when we looked at this matter at that time, it was the right thing to do, in my view. Of course, I would have loved to have seen him succeed over that entire 5-year period. That was our hope. And we saw over the last few weeks that wasn't going to happen, so we felt like we needed to make this change today.
Can I add one last thing? I think I said it again. I want to thank on behalf of all of us, the DeRuyter and the family again, for all they've done. This does not diminish what kind of coach he is, and I want to respect his privacy. That's why this search, how we do this, will be the next time we'll talk about the candidates will be when we hire a coach. Thank you.